with Senate Democrats. We are having folks speaking here on small businesses and what they say are some of the negative impacts these small businesses are seeing right now due to President Trump's tariffs, policies, and trade policies. So let's listen in live right now. You're watching Live Impact News.
A crucial step to secure the future of the food service industry, one of America's most resilient and cherished sectors. Thank you.
Thank you, Dominic. Great job. Okay. And our next speaker, and I'm going in the set order here, and the set order is here, Senator Amy Klobuchar.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you so much, Leader Schumer. Thanks for your leadership on this. Thanks to my colleague, Senator Smith, and mostly thank you, Senator Markey, for having the wherewithal to think of this great idea. Because we are in a whole lot of trouble in general in the economy. We know that. Americans know it when you see the numbers of the president's first 100 days. But it is small businesses and small farms and small ranches that are really going to be bearing the brunt of this. I know, having talked to them, I was just with a bunch of farmers, and they're losing their soybean markets. They don't know what they're going to do. They and the small business owners that are standing here with us today, they do not have a direct dial number for the White House. They do not have the president's cell phone. They are not like a major CEO of a Fortune 500 company that can call and get a meeting with the White House and then get their products exempted. They weren't invited to the J.P. Morgan secret meeting with the Treasury Secretary, where the Treasury Secretary gave them little tips on what was going to be happening here. They're excluded from all of that. And that, in addition to what this is doing to our economy as a whole, to big business, small business, the $4,000 tariff tax for every family, the $200 grocery tax for every family, but the unfairness and the destruction of the competitive marketplace for small businesses will have longer-term effects than anyone can even imagine. So one example of the small business here today is a Minnesotan, and we're really excited. Her name is Beth Beneke. The leader mentioned her. She was this is really like we'll call ironic. She was at the Small Business Administration just before this, is that right? To get an award. She's Minnesota's Entrepreneur of the Year. She makes baby equipment for high chairs. That's why it's called Busy Baby, because they throw things off the high chairs. She has just been getting her products on shelves all over in major retailers, and then she is hit by these tariffs. This is a living example where they're giving her an award for her incredible entrepreneurship as a small business, and then they're socking with her with these tariffs that make it impossible to run her business. And with that, I turn it over to Beth.
All right, I am Beth Beneke. I am a 10-year Army veteran, active duty, served in Bosnia, Iraq, Kuwait, Kosovo. I had my son Christian 8 years ago, and I had an idea for a baby product. And I made a prototype for myself and one for my friend, and she said, "Oh my gosh, this thing is so useful, you should make it for real." I thought, how would I do that? And I found a product developer who helped me come up with the design, who helped me find a manufacturer. And because this was a product that never existed before, no U.S. manufacturer was willing to take the risk on making it. They need to make hundreds of thousands of units, not 2,000 units. So I started my manufacturing in China, and I have been having wonderful quality, wonderful relationships with my factories in China for 8 years. When I got into Walmart shelves and only had 4 months to get my product ready and to the US and on those shelves, they made it happen. They are wonderful partners to me, and I currently have 3 months worth of inventory sitting at my factory that I cannot bring to the US. I have maybe 2 months worth left in my warehouse in Minnesota, and when that's gone, I have no more revenue. I cannot pay my employees, I cannot pay my bills, I cannot pay the loans which I have leveraged my house against, so we could lose our house. I do not have the $230,000 that were just immediately dropped in front of me to get my products into the US. So I am asking, begging for support from both sides of both parties to support our small businesses and get rid of these tariffs on U.S.-owned small businesses. It doesn't just affect me. When I go out of business, it affects all of those contractors that I pay to help me with my business, all those American-owned businesses, my trucking company that brings me my container, the bookkeepers and accountants and marketing teams that work with me. They now don't get to have the revenue they're getting from me, and I'm just one business that's at risk of going out of business. There are thousands of us. So this is hurting more than just people importing from China.
Thank you. Well done. Senator Markey, the sponsor of our great legislation.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you, Senator Schumer. Thank you for all of our great small business leaders who are here today. This National Small Business Week comes during a time when small businesses are being hit hard by Donald Trump's reckless, unnecessary tariffs, his policies. Trump's tariffs are a disaster for small food vendors like those based out of Commonwealth Kitchen in Boston. Executive Director Jen Fagel is with us today. She told me that she has imports coming in from 15 countries. She's a small business. This is, without question, something that threatens her. Small businesses aren't like Fortune 500 companies. They just can't ride it out. They live day to day, week to week, month to month. They just can't wait 3 months, 4 months, 5 months, 6 months, a year for something to get figured out in the White House. They live day to day. And that's why she is seeing price increases. That's why all of the people behind us are seeing containers, basic ingredients, everything from eggs and sugar to vanilla and vinegar all increasing. And even with the 90-day pause, small businesses can't afford this cloud over their head, or the remaining reckless Trump tariffs could return in a nanosecond. And that's why, with Senator Schumer, I'm introducing the Small Business Liberation Act with Senator Hirono to provide an exemption for small businesses in our country from Trump's Liberation Day. Because it is not Liberation Day, it's Obliteration Day for small businesses. It will be a massive economic liquidation day for small businesses. We have 7 million people in Massachusetts, and we have 734,000 small businesses. And the same percentage exists for every single state in our country. They are Main Street. These aren't the firms listed on the NASDAQ or the S&P 500, but they are the lifeblood of our economy. 97% of all businesses that trade internationally are small businesses, and they represent 30% of all trade for our country. And that's who these people are behind us today. Those are the people who can't afford to run the risk that Trump does not know what he's doing, because they are the ones who are going to become the economic roadkill for this economic experiment which he is running. So he's shown his willingness to give relief to CEOs of the big tech giants and grant them an exemption. Apple gets an exemption, but how about people who need apples for their businesses? Do they get a relief? It's only fair to provide an exemption for small businesses that operate on razor-thin profit margins. If Republicans are serious about helping small businesses, they need to start listening to the ones in their state. They need to start listening to Rotarians, to Kiwanians, to the Chamber of Commerce, not here in Washington, D.C., but in the small towns and cities all across our nation. So I thank you, Leader Schumer, for hosting this important event, for uplifting the stories of small businesses being harmed, and working for us to introduce this legislation, which will give relief to all of the small businesses in our country to Trump's economic experiment. Thank you.